Have you ever felt like your paycheck doesn't stretch as far as it used to? Like every trip to the grocery store leaves you doing mental math and thinking, wait, how did this total up to $80? It's 2025 and the cost of just existing has changed more than most people realize. In this video, I'll break down the real numbers behind everyday expenses, compare them to just a few years ago, and share practical tips to stay ahead. Let's get started. What's up everyone, I'm Kevin Ziegler. I make videos to help you grow your income, mindset, and freedom. From food to housing to even Netflix, everything is more expensive. But why? Grocery prices are up, rent is insane, and housing prices, don't even get me started. If you feel like your money doesn't stretch as far as it used to, you're not alone. This is the real cost of living in 2025, and today we're breaking it all down so you know exactly where all of your money is going and how to fight back. Let's start with the big one, housing. Zillow's latest rental report shows that asking rents were up 3.5% in February 2025 compared to last year, citing inflation, lack of inventory, and barriers to home ownership, including low supply, high demand, and high interest rates. This is also exacerbated by landlords trying to make up for pandemic-era rent freezes and the rise of remote work, which drove deep-pocketed renters to once low-cost living areas. Speaking of low-cost living areas, the average cost of a home in my home state of New Jersey is now $548,000, an increase of over 6.5% in just the last 12 months. Like it's looking for renters, it's not looking great for buyers either, with the average mortgage rate in the United States hovering at around 7%, varying slightly by state. Realistically, apart from looking at first-time homebuyer programs, downsizing, or moving to a lower-cost location, there's not much you can do here. This is your biggest expense and is definitely going to be the most difficult to work with. And I think cutting back in other areas along with increasing your income is going to help cushion the blow here. But enough about housing, let's hop to something that is near and dear to my heart as a foodie, and that is, you guessed it, groceries. Eggs at $7 a dozen? Is that a joke? Well, it's not funny. In fact, the average grocery bill is up about 15% year over year. If you live in the real world, you know this. Even compared to just a few years ago, the cost of groceries has skyrocketed. In fact, according to the USDA's Summary of Findings and Outlook, beef and veal prices increased by 2% in February alone and increased 7.6% from February of 2024. As if that's not bad enough, they're predicting beef and veal prices to increase by 5.2% in 2025. Cricket burgers, here we come. In the midst of inflation, shrinkflation, supply chain issues, and trade wars, you gotta switch things up. An easy step to take would be to begin shopping at a wholesale grocery store such as a Costco, BJ's, or Sam's Club. You can buy meat in bulk and throw it in the freezer. You can buy non-perishables, things that will last forever, stack them up, and as well as things you know you're going to use. We began shopping at Costco recently, and while it is harder to part with a few $100s at a time, we really have seen sizable savings from doing this. It's also useful to check for any coupons or sales your grocery store may be running. They sometimes mail these. You can find them online or in store. Take seasonality into account as well. For example, roses on Valentine's Day are very expensive. The days after, all the leftover roses on the shelves will be sold for a much cheaper price because the demand is lower. And this also applies to things like corned beef after St. Patrick's Day or turkey after Thanksgiving. Next up, we have transportation costs. First thing I gotta say is be careful when buying a new car. The average new monthly car payment in the United States is around $700. Just don't do that. You do not need a brand new flashy car. This ruins people's finances. My first car was a 1998 Volvo S70 with over 150,000 miles, and my current car is a 2012 Subaru, also with 150,000 miles, and it drives fine. If you are getting a car, I recommend putting down at least 20% and try paying it off within about 3 years. None of this 6-year, none of this 7-year crap. Car insurance, and all insurance really, is up sharply over the past few years, and I wouldn't be afraid to shop around with competitors to try to find a better rate. Sometimes even setting up auto pay can bring down your bill a bit. You could even look into taking a defensive driving course. Geico offers student discounts in the form of good student discounts available when you maintain a B average or better, good driver discounts if you haven't been in an accident within the last 5 years, as well as alumni associations, colleges, universities, and student organization discounts available in select organizations. Now let's talk about the sneaky stuff. Subscription services, increased tipping expectations, and delivery services. The average American spends $100 to $200 on subscription services per month, which amounts to thousands of dollars per year. This can realistically be lowered with some budgeting. And I'll leave the tipping one up too, but I think we can all agree it's getting a little ridiculous at this point. And as far as DoorDash, just go and pick up your food. You don't need someone to drive your food to you and have you incur like 4 different types of fees for that. Just go pick up your food. Okay, it's bad, but it's not helpless, and that's where strategy comes in. Try your best to increase your income. This is going to go a long way in fighting the cost of living. If you are shopping online, feel free to use a website like Top Cashback to earn cash back on your purchases. You can find a link below. And please, please, please automate your savings and investments into retirement accounts, high yield savings accounts, taxable brokerage when necessary, and of course your 401k, at least getting that match. Even a little bit will go a long way. Feel free to use my Investing for Beginners 2025 guide, which I'll include at the end of this video and in the description as well. Budgeting is of course extremely important. You could use the 50-30-20 budgeting method. You could also use the zero-based budgeting method as well. And lastly, remember that this is about control. You can't control inflation, but you can control your mindset, habits, attitude, grind, and goals. Look, 2025 is tough, but you got this. If this helped you, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more real talk about money, mindset, and freedom. But there you have it. Drop a comment and let me know what costs are hitting you the hardest right now. I read every single one. Peace.